China has always been known for taking on ambitious projects, and its recent eco-farming project is no different. Aiming to reduce environmental pollution and create clean fuel from waste materials, the Chinese government has implemented an extreme eco-farming project that already has noticeable results. With this initiative, China hopes to decrease its reliance on fossil fuels and move towards sustainable energy sources with minimal environmental impact. So, how are they doing it? What is this eco-farming project, and how has it improved the life of residents? Stay with us to find out. China's agriculture confronts enormous environmental difficulties. The transition to higher-value crops, many of which have greater nutritional requirements and are more prone to pest infestations than conventional crops, was one of the defining characteristics of the intensification of agriculture. Due to this, more and more artificial fertilizers and pesticides were used. Rapid expansion in animal production benefits rural economies by creating jobs and revenue, but at the expense of the environment via the release of harmful byproducts. In the past, rural homes' primary heating energy source was firewood, but in recent years, coal has become a more popular alternative. Both increasing one's usage of firewood and coal can have major negative effects on the surrounding ecosystem, including the loss of forest land and air pollution. In addition, it leads to considerable indoor air pollution, which in turn causes health issues, including eye and respiratory infections. The Chinese government saw biogas as a means of easing the living conditions of rural families and reversing the degradation of the natural environment. In 2001, the country's government initiated the massive National Rural Biogas Program, but the investments in biogas weren't long-lasting because there weren't enough support systems, especially after the systems were installed. For instance, there wasn't enough technical support to keep the systems running and in good shape. Systematic and quantifiable monitoring and evaluation indicators were also required to assess the economic, social, and environmental benefits of the multi-billion-dollar government-led biogas development program. The eco-farming project aims to support the government in its efforts to create and test strategies that will improve biogas effects and the techniques used to monitor them on a local scale. Technical innovations would include demonstrations of how to better integrate biogas into on-farm production systems and the establishment of systematic monitoring and evaluation processes at the local level. A pioneering program that uses carbon payment for the growth of biogas production at the home level was going to be tested in tandem with the main project. China has always been recognized for its innovative engineering, and now it is using it to combat climate change with the eco-farming project. This ambitious initiative seeks to convert the country's agricultural waste into clean fuel sources that can be utilized in both industrial and domestic settings. With a goal of reducing carbon emissions by up to 30%, this groundbreaking project is designed to create energy from organic matter such as animal manure, food waste, and crop residues. The collected organic material will then be processed in special bioreactors, converting the organic matter into combustible gases such as methane that can be used for cooking or powering industrial machinery. It's a win-win for the budget and the planet. Even better, the biogas produced through this process can also be used to generate electricity. The project used an all-encompassing strategy to integrate biogas development into agricultural production systems. This strategy included biogas technical solutions and on-farm investments connected to biogas, institutional enhancement of biogas service and extension systems at the province, county, township, and village levels, training programs for technicians, farmers, and households in integrated biogas and farming practices, and better monitoring and evaluation systems. The whole community was involved in the project's conception and planning. Surveys with a broad scope of coverage and various efforts to raise awareness were planned. The outcomes of these efforts influenced the project's strategy moving forward. Community members could choose which development projects would get funding through a collaborative planning procedure. This method ensured that residents in the community's highest objectives would be met, and they were. By installing new biodigesters and upgrading kitchens, toilets, and pig barns, 470,141 families were able to considerably enhance their health and quality of life, as evidenced by lower levels of cooking smoke and cleaner house yards in the surrounding environment. Biogas replaced firewood and coal in the kitchen, cutting down on fuel costs and preparation times. Households' disposable incomes increased as fuel costs, gathering time, cooking time, and quantity of chemical fertilizer and pesticides used were reduced. The use of coal and wood decreased by 325 and 768 kilograms a year, respectively. Biogas waste partially replaced the expense of chemical fertilizer and insecticides, which accounted for around 15% of families' cash incomes before. A total of 155,560 homes got new water lines as a part of the Community Development Initiative, and 1,771 kilometers of village roads were constructed. A 5-level technical extension service was established in all 5 project provinces, involving provinces, cities or prefectures, countries, townships, and villages. Technicians and farmers were given access to an extensive biogas system and farm management training program. A household-based clean development mechanism (CDM) biogas digester program, the first of its kind in China, was piloted in Enshi Prefecture of Hubei Province. The initiative pioneered innovative methods for quantifying the resulting emission reduction and laid the basis for their use in future CDM projects. By producing 213,940 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent certified emission reductions, it served as an example of a successful CDM transaction. The program was awarded several national and ministerial prizes, including first prize, China Agricultural Side Technology Advancement, and second prize, State Side Technology and Advancement. The project's economic, social, and environmental impacts, as well as the most effective strategies for their distribution, were evaluated using a comprehensive monitoring and evaluation system that relied on a large number of systematic and quantitative indicators. This was the first project to introduce the results-based monitoring and evaluation system to China's government's National Rural Biogas Program. In rural areas, the availability of biogas has greatly enhanced farmers' standard of living. It lessens the need for firewood and coal as energy sources, which in turn lessens the negative impact such sources have on people's health. Because it frees up prices and time that were previously expended on conventional forms of energy, the use of biogas is more cost-effective and less onerous. Women who used to spend a lot of time looking for firewood can now focus their energy on improving agricultural output. The World Bank's Eco-Farming Initiative and the IFAD project have become important driving forces behind the continued growth of the biogas industry. They've shown that it works as well. Hundreds of thousands of farmers in the countryside have profited from this innovation thus far. Farmers worldwide can benefit from biogas, which can be applied in rural areas. For many years, the biogas project has been seen as the most effective solution to the problems of manure and sewage in the poultry and animal raising business, as well as the most efficient means to make the most efficient use of agricultural resources. Since the integrated agroecosystem is more sustainable than the separated one, the Chinese agroecosystem, with conventional breeding and residues treatment style, needs to be supplemented by ecological engineering. Every day across China, tons of waste are produced, but now they can turn that waste into biofuel. Time is changing, as the country has embarked on a mission to make all these waste useful and clean. Through its innovative efforts to convert food and agricultural waste into green energy sources, China's eco-farming project is helping to pave the road towards a cleaner future. The team of experts employs innovative technology to transform the organic components from garbage into biogas and biofuel, offering a plentiful source of clean fuel for Chinese residents. It's a huge undertaking, but it might change everything we know about renewable energy and put China at the forefront of the fight for long-term, environmentally friendly answers to our planet's biggest problems. The innovative project bridges the gap between waste and clean fuel, showing us that it can transform our surroundings into something beneficial for all. It's a striking example of the possibility of making progress and building something greater from obscurity.